We go electric.
Formula E is coming to town. And now Evans is defending. Checker flag falls. Jaguar winning New York City.
Hot dogs, get your hot dogs.
What a victory. Stoffel Van Dorn. The championship lead. Vern is champion again.
Checkmate.
Welcome to round 11 of the ABB FIA Formulae World Championship as we head to the United States of America for another bite out of the Big Apple. The iconic New York City skyline will provide the backdrop for another spellbinding doubleheader, with Formulae preparing to put on an electrifying show. Our four leading men, with only 15 points between them, will be taking centre stage on the streets of Brooklyn as the championship reaches fever pitch. But before we bring up the curtain on Saturday's action, here's a reminder of how it all played out last round in magical Morocco. As Formulae returns to Marrakesh, there was a mountain to climb for championship leader Stoffel Van Dorn, who qualified 20th, whilst his title rivals lined up on the front three rows of the grid. Mitch Evans in 6th, Jean-Eric Verne in 3rd, and Eduardo Mortara 2nd, alongside pole sitter Antonio Felix da Costa.
And we go green in Marrakesh.
Having started 11th, Mahindra Racing's Oliver Rowland scythed through the field on a bold energy strategy.
Verline's now getting passed around the outside by Oliver Rowland.
But the Indian outfit weren't the only team to go big early on, with both DS Techeetah cars taking their attack mode power boost in the early stages, handing the lead to Mortara.
Both DS Techeetahs activate their first attack mode.
Da Costa seemed to lose any chance of repeating his 2021 Moroccan win after contact with Rowland lost him time to the leading car.
Did Rowland nudge the back of Da Costa there? And yes, because Rowland's letting him back through.
And while Rowland's strategy didn't pay off as the Brit dropped back, there were more tactics at DS Techeetah as they switched their drivers' positions.
Verne to the inside, gets ahead of Da Costa.
With Verne not able to close in on Mortara, it was Da Costa's turn to try.
And there is the swap. So Da Costa reckons he can catch Mortara for the win.
Mitch Evans put in another fine shift, making a final lap lunge on Verne to take 3rd.
Early lift from Jean-Eric Verne, and Evans goes through into 3rd.
But there was no stopping Rocket Venturi Racing as Eduardo Mortara took a 3rd win of the season, and with it, the championship lead. Van Dorn made up an incredible 12 places in Marrakesh to salvage some championship points, but he dropped to 3rd behind Mortara and Verne, as only 15 points separate the top 4 ahead of the New York E-Prix. After that stint in the African sun, we crossed the Atlantic for the New York City E-Prix and one of the highlights on the FE calendar. This iconic city has played host to Formulae since 2017, with Brooklyn's Red Hook neighborhood hosting a spectacular circuit across the river from Lower Manhattan. Time to take a closer look at what the drivers will face on race day, as 3-time Indy 500 winner and Formulae commentator Dario Franchitti talks us round the track.
Red Hook, Brooklyn, 2.3 kilometre 14 turn circuit. Wide open braking zone into turn 1, get positioned for the acceleration zone of the right-handers 2, 3, 4 and then 5 up a long straight, another heavy braking zone into 6 and 7. 7 tight hairpin, very easy to spin the tyres coming off. Turn 8 is really about setting up for keeping the car straight for the braking zone of 9. New surface this year across the middle of the corner in 9. Turn 10, tight hairpin with attack mode activations on the outside. 90-degree right-hander at 11. 12 and 13, a fast flowing chicane. Then one of my favourite corners, turn 14, fast, big commitment, dip in the middle of the corner, and then it's a run to the finish line. And that's a lap of the New York City E-Prix circuit.
The New York City streets are about to go green as the formulae field prepare for the Battle of Brooklyn. The gloves are off as we head down to the grid and your commentary team of Dario Franchitti and Jack Nichols.
Here's a look at how the grid will line up ahead of the New York City E-Prix. Oliver Turvey starts at the back of the grid. Second place man in the championship, Jean-Eric Verne, starts 16th. Fourth place man in the championship, Mitch Evans, starts in 14th place, while Nick De Vries just missed out on the top 10. He's 11th for Mercedes EQ. And he is behind Antonio Felix da Costa in the DS Techeetah. Da Costa was on pole position and finished second in the last race. He'll be looking to come through the field. Eduardo Mortara leads the championship by 11 points, leads the chasing drivers, the group of 4, by 15 points, but he is only 9th on the grid today. He is going to need to come through the field. Sam Bird's best result of the season is a 4th place in the opening race of the year. He is starting in 8th position and he will want to climb up the field. Robin Freins was frustrated with qualifying because he went out on the wet track and is all the way down in 7th position. Alexander Sims has his second best qualifying performance of the season for the Mahindra team. And then in front of him it's Sebastian Buemi, best ever qualifying result for Sebastian Buemi this season, and his last race victory came on the streets of New York City a couple of years ago. Pascal Wehrlein is 4th for the Porsche team, and then it is 3rd for Lucas de Grassi, the Brazilian driver for the Rocket Venturi team. Eduardo Mortara's teammate, what can he do today to try and assist his teammate and the team in their championship fight with Mercedes EQ? Stoffel Vandoorne, big open goal here for Vandoorne to get big championship points as he lines up second on the grid behind Nick Cassidy for the Envision Racing team, his 3rd Formula E pole position, but he has never taken a victory. And we go green in New York City. Very good start from Cassidy. Absolutely flies off the line. And Vandoorne loses second place on the run down into the first corner. Onto the brakes goes de Grassi. Up into second place goes de Grassi. And a great start from Buemi. Buemi's got up into 4th place and he's now got up into 3rd place. Vandoorne shuffles down the field. Terrible start from Pascal Wehrlein in the Porsche. He has lost ground. Sims has lost out to Robin Freins. Everybody getting their elbows out further back. The DS Techeetahs seem to have survived. We're on board with Jean-Eric Verne in the middle of the pack. He is in 17th place here. Freins has got ahead of Wehrlein now as well. Look at it, look at the rain. Cassidy leading, de Grassi second, Freins in 3rd, and this is going to be so tricky now. These last 10 minutes are going to be remarkable on the streets of New York City. Cassidy leading, de Grassi second, Freins in 3rd. I feel a bit sorry for the fans in the grandstand. This isn't exactly what they signed up for, but they're going to see quite the race. It's bone dry down at turn 1.
And these tyres have probably got a couple of 3 millimetres of tread. When the puddles are deeper than the tread, that's when you get aquaplaning, and then it gets really interesting. The car just slides and turns into canoe.
Big thing here, Mortara's got damage. Behind Vandoorne, Eduardo Mortara, look at the front left bodywork,
Okay,
it's flapping around.
Attention all teams, this is race control. Full course yellow in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full course yellow, this is for conditions. Full course yellow.
I mean, you can't see it.
Oh, Mortara! Eduardo Mortara, the championship leader, has aquaplaned off. Oh, they're all off. They're all off.
Every one of them.
There's 4 cars off, isn't there? Down at turn 6.
I saw an Envision.
Yes, Cassidy is in. I think Freins is going. Oh dear, it's wet. It is wet. Evans having to take evasive action. Less than 8 minutes plus a lap to go, and Cassidy is in there, and Vandoorne is in there as well. Cassidy from the lead of the E-Prix, and Grassi. So Freins is still going. Freins leads. Mortara is second, and the red flag is flown.
Okay, everybody, red flag.
And there's only 2 cars that have got through the turn 6, 7. There's obviously a massive traffic jam.
Remember your procedures. Park in front of the garage if no repairs. Park in the garage if repairs.
So, park in front of the... Well, many questions now about what is going to ensue. 7.5 minutes plus a lap to go. It was obviously getting treacherous down into turn 6. There is the Porsche of
right rear
Wehrlein.
damage. There's right rear damage. It's all turned in.
Now de Grassi is out of the car, which is great to see. The crowd cheering him. Cassidy is out as well, and it looks like Vandoorne...
Look, the whole right rear is missing from Cassidy's car.
Yeah, so what has happened?
Oh,
There's Vandoorne climbing out as well.
Vandoorne's hit him really, really hard.
Do you think Vandoorne has skittled into the three of them.
I think they've all followed each other in.
Remember the procedure.
Just,
if the
this
car
is
is not damaged, park in front of your garage.
You know, we talked about
car is damaged,
the tread depth.
please.
You know, we talked about the tread depth of the tyre. I think we've reached the point.
Wow. Oh, there's a Nissan in there as well.
Or half a Nissan.
That's Sebastian Buemi. Well, now we'll have to see what happens with the regulations and that sort of thing, because there's always the well, I'm gonna get the regulations out basically.
Jean-Eric Verne is calmly driving along, having been half to 3/4 of a lap. Look at the tyres, guys. You can see the lack of tread on the tyre because it's just getting worn away with the everything that it's been put through today.
Right, here's what happened. Whoa, Cassidy! Oh my goodness me!
Yeah, I mean, there's...
Oh my goodness me! What? I mean, what on earth?
That's a big shunt.
They all just flew straight on.
But look at the speed that Freins was carrying, so much less. What?
And then why did Verline? I mean, this is on board with Cassidy.
It's going to be big. Look at the water. Just hit a puddle. Massive puddle.
Oh, he's in.
No, wait.
Yeah, and then the camera dies before he gets. This is Mortara.
Watch the puddle. Nothing he can do.
And then Verline must have been broken or something.
Yeah, right rear was broken.
The right rear was broken, had no drive, and Bird went into the back. Bird went into the back of him.
And watch this. Watch the water when he hits the puddle. There you go.
Yeah. So there was just like a puddle down there.
Formula E car turns into speedboat.
Oh.
And there's an Envision. That's the back end of the Envision car. And that's a lot of damage. I mean, that is a massive amount of damage. And that's going to necessitate a gearbox, which could necessitate a penalty for the Envision team. So that's some serious stuff going on there.
Yeah, absolutely. And Scott Elkins will be talking to the teams and the drivers and finding out exactly what they think.
And that was really quick thinking from Robin Freins.
There's Da Costa. Oh, goodness me. Oh, they all just piled in.
And these guys are working on the car. You see Edo Mortara.
And then that was Verline just coming to a halt.
Yeah.
What was it? Silverstone. Come on, you know this. Silverstone 74, something like that, where it was really wet and everyone just...
Jody Scheckter.
No, that was not. It was raining and everybody just piled straight on at Beckett's or something, and it was reminded me of that.
Actually, absolutely right. I don't know what year it was. I wasn't there.
No,
not quite
I'm surprised.
Easy now.
So there's De Vries then, parked outside the garage. The rain has stopped. Mortara, they haven't fixed Mortara's car, because if they fix the car, you have to take it into the garage, and the front wing is just kind of completely taken off. There's a look at the tyres that Dario was talking about earlier. But if they put it in the garage to repair it, then you have to go to the back of the field, basically.
I think it will very much depend on how much time is left in this race, and how effective that front wing is going to be, and how wet the circuit is too. I can't see them trying to run it without the front wing, can they? Robert Freins again, yeah. Can't say enough about his reactions to really slow down, see what was going on, read the conditions, and take advantage.
Well, here's the interesting part for me. Well, a lot of it's interesting. In the sporting regulations, if the race cannot be resumed, the results will be taken at the end of the penultimate lap, before the lap during which the signal to suspend the race was given.
But had Freins crossed the finish line?
I don't think he had.
I don't think so either.
So there's a chance that Cassidy can still win this race. Yep. Cassidy, Degrassi and Van Dorn could still be the top three if it is red flagged and it's deemed that we can't go racing again because of the conditions.
Okay, attention all teams, this is race control. The race will not resume. The race will not resume. We will post the correct order on the timing monitors according to the regulations. We go back to the penultimate lap prior to the red flag. That is the order. according to the regulations. It's just the conditions are too difficult at the moment.
Nick Cassidy wins the New York City E-Prix. Nick Cassidy wins his first race in the ABB FIA Formulae World Championship. Cassidy, De Grassi and Frights the top three. Double podium for Envision, and that is what it means for the New Zealander. What a roller coaster of emotions. Huge result as well for Eduardo Mortara, recovering the fifth. But Nick Cassidy is a race winner for the first time. Leon Price there making his way out. He can't believe it. Hugs all around with Cassidy. That's his engineer, Robert Sattler, who's tapping him on the shoulder there. High fives between he and Bertrand Famine. Cassidy can't believe it. That must have been one of the oddest ways he has ever won a Formula E race. A hug with Tom Blomqvist as well, his compatriot. Bryony, the PR, everybody's here having a hug.
He's won a lot of races, but you can see what this one means. Fantastic.
Nick Cassidy, the winner of the New York City E-Prix.
I mean, in the end, you're sitting there P1, so I was like, oh, no, it's good, man. It's good to go up there. Exactly.
They're a really good pair, those two. Before the race started, I went, if you go round to the right here, there's their driver room. Whooped it on them, and they both get along very well, having a good chat, and they really kind of work hard for each other. Rocket Venturi, great result for these guys. They're getting cracking straight on for tomorrow. Fifth for Mortara is brilliant achievement. De Grassi is second at the end of the race, which is just tremendous. And apologies for the language from Tower there, but didn't even finish with wheels on it. So,
I hate to say it, but they're going to have to. What's going to happen with this gearbox change and what meaning it's going to make? But this is phenomenal for the Envision team.
Attention all teams. Just a clarification, just so you're aware. If your car is parked outside the garage, move it into the garage, and it is considered in park for May conditions. So if your car is outside the garage, move it into the garage. It's considered park for May conditions.
What a way to end a Formula E. Look, Formula E has done a lot of things. I've seen some random stuff covering this championship for 8 years. The new one.
And that shot from turn 7.
Them all just firing off.
Of just the speed at which they hit that wall shows you how serious this is.
Nick Cassidy takes the win after 29 laps of racing in the New York City E-Prix. 1.1 seconds ahead of Lucas de Grassi. Then Robin Freitz in third, Stoffel van Dorn fourth, Eduardo Mortara completing the top 5, Buemi in 6th, Verline 7th, Dennis 8th, 9th for Bird, 10th for Nick de Vries. Mitch Evans finishing outside of the points in 11th position. 12th Max Gunter, 13th Andre Lotterer, Roland Sims the top 15. Sims dropped back down the field. Turvey and Tictum 16th, 17th. Vern Askew, Da Costa, Vern and Askew, the 19 drivers, Da Costa, Giovinazzi and Sede Camera not classified. Sede Camera didn't start the race.
Nick Cassidy, the winner of the New York E-Prix, an absolutely unforgettable race. We can see a smile on your face. What a turn of events at the end. But I mean, first things first, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay, thanks. Yeah, it's such a roller coaster of emotions, right? I mean, I was pretty calm after everything happened. Obviously very disappointed initially, and felt like I did everything right today. Felt like that was in the bag with 10 to go, and even when it started raining a little bit. So yeah, initially very, very disappointed considering that, but I mean, I'm biased, but I think it's the right decision.
It was an absolutely fantastic drive right the way up until the end there. When you found out that you were going to be given the first place, what went through your head? What was that like?
I was screaming in the garage, are you sure? Are you sure? You know? Thanks, man. Look, it's difficult for me to say too much. I'm super happy, obviously, with the win, and I don't want to talk about the decision-making process and all of that, but in terms of the race that we did, the team did a fantastic job. I had a fantastic car today, and I'm just really pleased, especially after the last weekends that we've had, that we could come here and take the win.
You won today in New York. Congratulations.
Thanks very much.
Lucas de Grassi, second place here in New York. We can see the smile on your face. You're wearing your Brazilian flag with pride. Massive congratulations. But first of all, are you all okay?
Yeah, that's the first thing. The crash today was the strongest crash of my Formulae career. One of the strongest crash I had in motorsport. It was well over 15G, I would say. I'm fully bruised, my neck, my hands, my legs, but I'm okay. And just shows that when you're aquaplaning, there's nothing really you can do. And I'm happy that they put the red flag and they reversed the result of the race, because it was the fair thing to do. I'm happy with the points, but unhappy that the car is completely in pieces, and the mechanics, they will have to work very, very hard to put the car together for tomorrow.
Well, Robin Frains,
the way they did it.
third place in what was an absolutely remarkable E-Prix. First of all, are you okay?
I'm okay. I didn't touch a wall, so you know, the two guys in front, Nick and Lucas, they went straight in turn 6. So aquaplaning, they spun basically. I don't know what happened behind me, but I was the only one that survived the carnage.
That's something I'd love to talk to you about, because how did you manage to do that? Was that your reactions? Was that foresight? Because it was incredible to watch.
It was, obviously it's very tricky, because we are using the tires like 3/4 of the race, and the tread is going down, and then the rain comes. You're basically driving with slicks. So I braked a bit early, and then I didn't see anything because of the spray from Lucas. And then when the spray disappeared, I saw Lucas like, you know, sideways 45 degrees in front of me. So luckily I braked a bit early, and I just made the corner.
Here's a look at how the championship standings are after that chaotic race in New York City. Eduardo Mortara at the top of the championship, and he is now 13 points clear of Stoffel van Dorn. Jean-Eric Verne and Mitch Evans both failing to score, and that means they are cut adrift a little bit. It's going to be a big, big day for them in round 12. And as far as the teams are concerned, well, Rocket Venturi were leading coming into this race, and a second place for Lucas de Grassi and a fifth for Eduardo Mortara means they extend their lead at the top of the championship. Mercedes EQ are still there in second. No points for DS Techeetah, only 2 points for Jaguar TCS Racing, 43 points for Envision Racing, who are fifth. Selfie complete. Doesn't know what to do with the phone, because I think all he wants to do is, for the first time in his Formula E career, celebrate victory. Nick Cassidy soaks Sylvain Filippi on the top step of the podium, sprays the crowd as well. A lights the flag victory for the New Zealander. It doesn't move him into championship contention. It really helps Envision in the team's championship. And as if we need more water in New York City today, the fire boats are spraying the water, and the drinks all around. And drinks all around at Envision after quite a remarkable performance and quite a remarkable race here in New York City.
Formula E is back in Brooklyn.
So Act 1 is complete. New York City once again delivering the drama. Join us again tomorrow for round 12 as we find out exactly what the Big Apple has in store for us.
It's Verne facing the wrong way at turn 6. Van Dorn up into second place. Oh, look at it, look at the rain.
Yeah,
oh, Mortara! They're all off.
The race will not resume.
Nick Cassidy wins the New York City E-Prix.